Phil Spencer, no doubt, in the news a lot lately, and with pretty good reason. I mean, let's just be real. He's been talking a lot, talking about Xbox, kind of maybe even contradicted himself just a little bit. But, at the end of the day, I think he's probably doing what he's got to do. Let's just be real. He's the CEO of Xbox, and the CEO of Xbox has to kind of put their best foot forward and kind of do what they got to do in this industry. We don't know what's going to happen in the future for sure. I mean, you look at Sony, they lost, $10 billion in stock value with the announcement that they shaved 4 million consoles off their expected sales for this year. So we're in a weird sort of situation all the way around. And I think, it's probably not going to get better anytime soon. I think that, despite the fact that we live in this era where gaming is like a $65 billion a year industry, we still see that there's a lot of bad things that can happen, unfortunately. So one thing that did leak out was a very interesting piece of information that Phil Spencer set out to people at his work, a memo about Xbox Everywhere, which I thought was very interesting. It sort of echoes what we've been hearing lately anyway. So Microsoft announced that, the 4 Xbox exclusive games are coming to PlayStation 5 and Switch, or Switch 2, or whatever the case may be, opening up a new strategy for Xbox to be on more screens. But just hours before that, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer explained the company's new Xbox vision in an internal memo to employees. The Verge obtained a copy of the memo. Obviously, Microsoft isn't doing a good job of keeping their things under wraps for whatever reason, so I find that to be kind of hilarious or whatever. It's the first time Spencer has fully outlined a new strategy where every screen is an Xbox to employees, after an internal town hall meeting earlier in the month didn't address multi-platform games directly. Microsoft didn't directly mention Xbox Everywhere or every screen is an Xbox during its official Xbox podcast, but it's not too dissimilar to what the company has been saying for years about its push for Xbox games across PC, consoles, and cloud gaming. The big difference this time is that the vision has been adjusted to include bringing those Xbox games to rival consoles as well. Speaking to Phil Spencer earlier in the week about the new Xbox vision and the next-gen hardware and more, there's an interview here. Today it's Pacific will actually post a special episode on the podcast. Obviously, they talked about the different things, the state of the medium. They see players increasingly gaming on multiple devices, but their experience is defined by the fragmentation created by platforms. Multi-platform players have to navigate multiple identities, entitlement libraries, communities, wallets, and reward programs. Similarly, the industry's biggest franchises increasingly ship across multiple devices, requiring creators to build and manage multiple instances of their games, leading to higher costs and fragmented communities. All of this friction creates a tremendous opportunity for us to meet the needs of multiple device players and creators. We have a different vision for the future of gaming, a future where players have a unified experience across devices, a future where players can easily discover a vast array of games with a diverse spectrum of business models, a future where more creators are empowered to realize their creative vision, reach global audiences, unite their communities, and succeed commercially, a future where every screen is an Xbox. This is a future where Xbox is everywhere, consistent with our promise to empower players to play the games you want with the people you want anywhere you want. Now, this isn't anything specifically new. I think the thing that I would look at when I look at this and I say that might be a little bit new or a little bit different is I don't think he's talking about necessarily like a PlayStation, or like a Switch. I don't look at those as Xbox. They're just, and I don't think they ever will, right? Like, if you're thinking about it, that you're not going to be able to use an Xbox digital card on a PlayStation. Like, that's not going to happen. Whatever might happen in the future with PlayStation or what have you, I think that PlayStation will probably continue to do what PlayStation's been doing. I know that there's some negativity around PlayStation right now with the fact that they bet heavily on games as a service. They delayed 6 of those games as a service games, canceled at least 2 to 3 of them as well. So yeah, we do kind of have a weird situation where people are kind of worried about them or whatever. I think Sony will tend to be fine. They are in sort of a bad state right now, mostly due to the fact that their first party isn't exactly where I think they want it to be. They did do some of these bets on the games as a service, and I don't really feel like that paid off as well. I think that Microsoft has been here before with all this, be on a billion screens. I think they've been there quite a bit. Will that ever happen? I don't know. I think the best way for that to happen is for them to have successful games in the mobile space, like true mobile games, not cloud streaming mobile games or anything like that. I think more or less just one of the things where they're going to have, like Call of Duty Mobile or whatever, just be what it needs to be. So, we are in sort of this weird kind of flux situation. Everybody's kind of down on consoles for whatever reason. I think if there's no such thing as consoles or no way to play via console, then it makes it easy for me to not play anymore. I don't have the internet and never will to stream. And I would never want to do that anyway, as I'd like to own my games if at all possible. But even in addition to that, I just think that, that's just not a good way to game, and I'll never game on PC. I don't care about PC gaming. So, as it is, I'm not one of these people that games the way that they think that people game. So and I never was, even when they were like, people are switching back and forth between PC and console and this and that. I was never one doing that. I game on my console. If I'm not home, I'm working or doing something where I'm not going to be able to game. So it's not like I'm like, okay, well, here I am out and about. Let me slap on my phone and stream some games. It doesn't really work like that for me or anybody I know. It's unfortunate, I guess, but I'm not a mobile gamer. I don't like mobile games. I don't like, I don't even like the Switch for the most part. It's like Nintendo has some good games, but they're so backwards with a lot of the things that they do that it's just not fun for me to play on that. It's like they don't have achievements. Their online is a mess. Like the voice chat, they can't do basic functions that, stuff like Xbox was doing 20 odd years ago. So it's not a fun experience. It's not a user-friendly experience. So I don't enjoy it. At the end of the day, I like playing on consoles. I work with a computer during the day. So the last thing I want to do is mess with the PC. I like to kick back, maybe even in my bed. I have a console set up in my bedroom or the living room, kick back in the recliner and kind of just play. Or, maybe I go right from playing and then just, switch over to watching something on Disney or Netflix or whatever the case may be. I like that easeability, and, I just think that we're getting to that point where, things are changing, but maybe the industry's trying to force a change a little bit too much. I don't know. We'll see. But I think things are definitely becoming more interesting. This isn't too dissimilar from what we've heard before. Just I'm curious to see where the PlayStation stuff fits into this. Are we going to be seeing more of that in the future, or what the deal is actually going to be? So with that being said, I'll link this. You guys can check it out. How do you feel about what they're doing? Are you still heavily in belief of Phil Spencer? Let me know down below. I'm Crap Gamer. This has been Crap Gamer Reviews. Thanks so much for watching. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.